So the way my personal approach has always been, be able to see end state will help you take short term trade-offs well. And we do that day in day out, because when we're building tech,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of things that we're building are building from scratch. So we want to say, for example, build a chatbot
Okay.
for diabetic patients, for example. You want to be able to visualize what in the end state that chatbot will do for those patients.
They are leading amazing teams and leading great marketing functions. But one thing I have seen common in many of them is like they have started from sales, or maybe door to door sales, or going to the field and interacting with the consumer. I think those basic, the foundation that builds you.
For the customer, solve for the customer, be the voice of customer in your company, and that I think has to be the core of every marketer.
Welcome to Icons Behind Brands, where we explore the stories of exceptional leaders. Our next guest is Mr. Rahul Poddar, who currently leads MarTech at Narayana Health, having previously worked with renowned companies like BYJU'S, Ola, and DIAGEO India, with over 15 years of diverse experience. So join us as Rahul shares his insights and knowledge gained from various industries. And a very warm welcome to you, Rahul, on Icons Behind Brands.
Thank you. Thanks, Devleena. Thanks for having me.
Rahul, if you navigate us from your journey and background, from where you have started your journey, professional journey, and where you have reached.
Back in 2008, with
Mhm.
Airtel, had spent a large part of my career at the start, first decade or so, largely in sales and operations. So a salesman at heart. From that measure, had spent time. My first 6 years in Airtel were great. Sort of set the right foundation for where my career would take me. Then had a early stage startup experience where we did the 0 to 1 journey. Um, and then my first marketing stint was with Diageo, where I got to learn about how the consumer behavior works, how to launch products, what JTM means, and all of those things. Truly learning experience. And then Ola came along the way. That
Okay.
was my first leadership experience, where I managed P&L for the business for the first time. A lot of things happened there in terms of my personal and professional growth journey.
Yeah.
Also got a chance to launch a business there, which was a great experience.
Okay.
A lot of my learnings today happened in those 3.5 years at Ola. Um, and all of that has kind of culminated into me coming to Narayana and doing this.
Okay.
You could say that I've this is the first time I'm truly doing a tech MarTech kind of a role.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But the all of the way I see it is, it has culminated. My 15 years have culminated into me
Mm-hmm.
being able to do this.
So let's understand, Rahul, how do you see this, MarTech evolving in the
Hmm.
healthcare industry in next, you know, 4 to 5 years, and what trends and technology do you believe has the most impact towards it?
I would say that this industry is moving toward a lot towards experience as a metric, and technology can play a big part there.
Mhm.
With AI coming in, you can have hyper personalization models.
Yeah.
You can have predictive and pattern recognitions on how the consumer behavior works. You can create relevant with generative AI. You can create relevant content. We no longer want to read and read messages or read emails or listen to phone calls which are not relevant to us. We typically regard that as spamming. So we are very in healthcare. I think that will be the key on how well you can personalize, on how technology, and there is enough technology available and getting developed for you to be able to do it. Um, so I think that I understand is the role of technology in healthcare. How do you enhance experience, and how do you bring in personalization into everything that you do?
Right.
So that's a challenge for marketers at healthcare, because the whole either the relationship is very episodic, where okay, I need this fixing right now to help me do this, and then
Okay.
I don't want to see you for a considerable amount of time. And
Mm-hmm.
the second is it comes from a place of fear or fear of death or whatever you can say,
Yeah.
right? It
Yeah.
doesn't come from a pleasurable experience.
Yeah.
So take an example, if you want to buy a car, right?
Mm-hmm.
You'd start saving money for it for years. You'll start researching. You'll have your dream car. You'll have all of those kind of things, right? You don't do that with hospitals or
True.
healthcare. You don't
True.
say that, okay, I'm gonna if I'm gonna have a heart condition, let me research which is the best hospital. You do
Never
that when
happen.
it
Never.
happens, when you need
Never.
it, right? So that's a challenge, I think, from a consumer standpoint, and that is where the role of marketeers and MarTech comes in, where
Okay.
your intent and your intent has to be very clear on how you want to build this relationship. It can't be from the place of
Yes.
fear. It can't be from an episodic journey. It has to be from a relationship point, and customer has to be in the middle of it for you to
Yeah.
understand. And tech is an enabler for that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Definitely.
When we use AI, particularly in healthcare, what ethical consideration do you believe are paramount in marketing strategies, especially concerning the data privacy, patients' data and their
Yeah,
privacy?
yeah. One thumb rule is
Okay.
the way we're using it in marketing. One thumb rule for us will be we don't want to do what the world is doing. That we're not fighting that battle.
Okay.
Um, we want to be relevant. Imagine a message coming from your family. You
Mm-hmm.
wouldn't ignore it. You'll read it and you'll possibly act on it, right? We want to be that for a person
Wow.
for healthcare. We
Great
want to be
thought.
a relationship. We want to build that relationship. That if I am sending you something, you understand. Okay, yeah, this is relevant for me. This is contextual for me. These guys are saying something which is in the best of my interest. Okay, let me read it. And once you start building in that lens, then AI can come in. You have data pattern recognition platforms. You have generative AI. You have
Yeah.
conversational AI, which can help you build chatbots. Now
Mm-hmm.
we're working on a few chatbots, but the idea behind those chatbots is that we're putting customer at the center of it. How
Yeah.
does consumer react, or how does customer what do you want? If you have a headache, what do you type in,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And that is something that's the answer you would be looking for. Not that okay, go to these flows. Okay, type one, type two, type three. That's not what we want to do. So when we put customer, suddenly you put customer at the center of everything. You start saying no to a lot of things. With great data comes greater responsibility, right?
Yeah.
Our IT team is very, very
Yeah.
efficient in
Great
that
power.
manner. Our data security
Where
systems,
data is the power.
yeah, yeah. So our IT team is very, very responsible in that manner. Since we are all built with the same purpose, they are also focused on customer in the center of it. So we are very particular about how our hospital information system is in-house. We've been building this for 7 years now. Um, so that the way we've been built is to take care of all these things. The data security is paramount, and personalization is the key.
Yeah.
So I
True.
think that's how I see the role of AI. Is You need to you need to first define what your objectives are, and then there's enough and more applications in AI, and more will come in
Yeah.
future.
What is your perspective in terms of what notable changes have characterized the evolution from traditional marketing practices to modern marketing practices in the healthcare segment?
The way consumer were fed information about hospitals was very scary. Uh, you would have the moment you talk about heart failures and heart stents and all of those things, you have those very bad images of that you
Yeah.
could see online, and that communication was the place of fear, right? That if
Okay.
you don't do this, this might happen. If you don't
Yeah.
do
Yeah.
this, this might happen.
Okay.
Uh, and that was because, and I think somewhere it may have been the need of the hour in the sense that consumer needed to be more aware,
Hmm.
right? And since
True.
behavior change comes either from the place of love or from fear, you do that from the place of fear at that time. But it has changed now. You see more awareness among all of us.
Hmm.
We spend more time seeing what we eat, what times we eat, we want to exercise a little more. Sleep patterns are improving. At least there's awareness is coming.
Yeah.
COVID really helped.
Okay.
COVID really put health on the map in terms of what importance of taking care of your health means. Um, and in the last 5 years or so and 3 years or so, that has helped us.
Yeah.
There are more. If you see, say a decade ago, or even 7, 8 years ago, the number of health checks per thousand was less than 100,
Oh,
right? Today it is closer to 300, 350 or so, right? So
huge.
that there has been a significant increase in the preventive space. We want to be there. We are a healthcare setup, and the way we are building our journey is exactly to cater into that space.
True.
We're no longer a hospital company. We are now moving towards from hospitals to healthcare, where we now have since last 2 years clinics as
Hmm.
a touch point for consumers, for patients. We just now got a nod for insurance, so we'll be launching our insurance, health
Oh,
insurance very soon.
great.
One of the 6 companies in India who has that. And the idea behind building all of this is to have all of this under one integrated healthcare offering for the consumer, not to build different businesses, right?
Mm-hmm.
One great thing about how we're building this is we're not looking at these things as different businesses. We're
Okay.
looking at these things from an integrated offering point of view. So if you want to do a health check, I am there. If you want to know what healthy eating habits are, I am there. If
Yeah.
you want health insurance, I am there. And if you want a treatment at the right time because something happened, I am also there.
Yeah.
So the health space, I think that has changed for us. And customer has suddenly now come into the center. It is more about experience. It is more about how preventive healthcare journeys can be created for the consumers. And obviously, it is about giving
Yeah.
them the right treatment at the right time.
Right.
So I think that's how things have changed.
So, do you face any
Mhm.
conflict or challenges, approach conflict within your organization's acceptance of the role and significance of technology in marketing? And if it is there, then how do you solve it?
The good thing is, at least for us, is that our entire leadership is, in terms of tech adoption, is at a very advanced level.
Mm.
We started this journey a few years ago where we said, okay, we want our own hospital information system, we want our own data analytics platform, and we build all of that in-house. Now we have two platforms which cater to both these needs for us and for other hospitals possibly too, maybe, right, in the future. Um, but yes, the conflict when I, you know, the conflicts happen when you're talking about the speed at which you want to do things, right? Now we've started a journey on digitization where we're saying in 3 years we want to do this, in 6 years we want to do this, and that is where the conflicts come, which is where the way I approach it is that it's very important to have a good structure. We need to know what happens when it happens and who is responsible for doing it. If that is clear, the relationship between business and product, and then product and tech, and whether tech is delivering, it's very important to understand that all of these three things need to happen in conjunction. So a lot of my effort goes into fixing these structures and putting these processes in place where we have created platforms where all of these entities come on the same platform every week. They discuss what's going on, what's the status on projects and everything. So we try to put a lot of structure around it, and that's how the conflicts, major conflicts, we try to avoid, right? Minor conflicts are part of the game, I guess,
Yeah, yeah.
where we set up.
That's the part of the journey.
But the important thing is we move everybody, all entities involved in this have to be on the same page, which is what the way I approach it is, and the way we are doing it at Narayana is create good structures in place,
Hmm.
because you can't solve it with it just intent. Everybody has a good intent. There is no
Mm.
problem there,
True.
but the structure has to allow for you to function well.
True.
Um, especially in things like tech, where it will take the amount of time that it will take.
Yeah.
You can't put three more people and do it in one night. That it may help, but it doesn't exactly work that way. So that's the core of how we are solving conflicts. We want to build strong structures and uh, fix responsibilities to the people, and then trust people to do their jobs well.
This gives a lot of clarity, Rahul, in terms of leadership. And it gives a clarity like if you're not micromanaging, how you're going to get the result. But, this clears it all. Just give the context and, put your why, put your purpose there. And once the team is in line towards your vision and towards the purpose, when they feel they're part of this, all you have to do is like solving the common problem for the whole team. Now, again, coming to your leadership. So, as a leader, how do you balance the short term goals with the long term visions
Hmm.
in strategy? And if you can share some examples aligning these things.
My personal approach has always been define the objectives well
Mm-hmm.
for what you want to do, and then look at the end state vision first.
Mm-hmm.
That okay, if you want to do this 1 year from now, how it will look, or 2 years from now, how it will look, that's where you start. Because whatever direction you take in terms of uh, taking step one and step two and step three will need to move in that direction, in that end state vision direction. Um, and then you figure out that, okay, I need this in short term and I need these trade-offs to make. But those trade-offs can't be, should be in line with what your end state looks like. You don't want to build something extremely different to what your end state is just because you want to achieve that short-term objective. So the way my personal approach has always been uh, be able to see end state will help you take short-term trade-offs well. And we do that day in day out, because when we're building tech,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of things that we're building are building from scratch. Um, so we want to say, for example, build a chatbot
Okay.
for diabetic patients, for example. You want to be able to visualize what in the end state that chatbot will do for those patients. Those answers, if they're there, then you build the flows, and then you can
Okay.
decide, okay, I want this particular these 4 or 5 basic workflows first. So I'll build
Mm-hmm.
them first, and then I will build on the remaining. I build on them. But
Mm-hmm.
if you start building it now with the short term, and then you
Mm-hmm.
say, and then you realize, oh no, I had to go in that direction, but now I'm here. So let me
Okay.
undo whatever I've been doing, and let
Okay.
me redo that. A lot of that also happens.
Yeah.
Um, so the way we have built our product roadmaps
Mm-hmm.
for MarTech is with that vision, that we want to see what end state looks like, and then obviously there are monthly, them quarterly or half yearly or
Mm-hmm.
immediate things that we want to solve, which will have direct business impact or direct impact on consumer experience,
Correct.
and then you prioritize for that.
Right.
But the end state vision is extremely important. So I'd first do that.
Nice. With this,
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
are moving towards a section called rapid fire round. And in this section, it's very simple. The rules are
Okay.
either you need to answer in one word or as minimum word as possible. This section also allows our viewers to know you as a person a little more. Are we good to go?
Yeah.
What has been your favorite age so far?
My second year in college, MBA.
What is your favorite work memory?
Uh, my first sales check, my first check, which I received from my customer.
Wow.
Cherish that memory from my heart.
Okay. So, what
I
has
agree.
changed the most since you have started working here, Rahul?
Ooh, my weight has changed, has gone up.
Okay.
But I think my understanding of how hospitals operate.
So, now the next question is what advice would you give to an employee on their first day of work?
Spend the first 30 days with consumers and
Okay.
ground teams.
Nice. If you could not work in this industry, what profession would you pursue?
Ooh, I always wanted to be a chef, probably been that.
So, when are you most productive, Rahul?
When I have the autonomy to do
Okay.
things,
Okay.
right?
Mhm.
You tell me what is needed, and I will get that done. Don't tell me
Mhm.
how to do it. Don't tell me the step one, two, three, four, five, six.
Mhm.
Tell me the context, objective, and I'll get
Mhm.
it done. That's how I love to operate.
What would you change about yourself if given a chance?
Be more disciplined with respect to my fitness routine.
What advice would you give your younger self?
I'd say be more curious. I was just scary.
Before we wind up this conversation,
Great.
I want you to talk for our aspiring marketing professional. So, what is your advice for any aspiring marketing professional?
Think for the customer. Solve for the customer. Be the voice of customer in your company, and that I think has to be the core of every marketer.
I think it perfectly makes sense, Rahul, what you are saying. Even if you ask me, I have been talking to many people who are in the leadership role. They are leading amazing teams and leading great marketing, functions. But one thing I have seen common in many of them is like they have started from sales or maybe door to door sales or going to the field and interacting with the consumer. I think those basic, the foundation that builds you. And if you ask me honestly, my personal opinion, sales is a life skill. It's not just a professional skill.
Yeah.
So that helps you in your
It's,
life
I think,
a lot.
one of the toughest skills that you can learn.
Yeah,
And if you've done that, then you should be able to do a lot of other things.
true, true.
Uh, I agree.
Amazing conversation, Rahul. I think we have covered a lot of topics. We got to know you like cooking and you never know, like आप ताज में होते या फिर आज NH में हो, but still you are doing great and I wish you all the very best. Thanks for being here. I really had amazing time with you.
Likewise, and thank you so much, Devleena, for having me. Had a great time. Had a great time.
So, business folks, how was the video? आई एम श्योर कि आपको ये वीडियो बहुत ही इंसाइटफुल एंड इन्फॉर्मेटिव लगा होगा. हम ऐसे ही इंडिया के टॉप बिजनेस ब्रांड सीक्रेट्स आपके पास लाते रहते हैं एंड दिस इज एन इनिशिएटिव टू ब्रिंग द बेस्ट नॉलेज टू यू थ्रू दिस प्लेटफॉर्म आइकन्स बिहाइंड ब्रांड्स. If you like our efforts, we would appreciate you by liking and sharing it. And please do not forget to subscribe to it. That's all for today. I'm Devleena Neogi, your host, signing off until next time.